in Daytona, at the 55th running of the longest-lasting continuous venue on the Supercross circuit. In his 11th try, Kenny Roczen wins at the world's center of racing. It was Kenny's first win since round 6 at Glendale last season, and Suzuki's first victory at the Speedway since Chad Reed in 2009. The race marked Cooper Webb's 5th runner-up finish at Daytona. And, in a much-needed first podium of the year, Aaron Plessinger doing it for Dale. Webb's primary competition for the points lead, Chase Sexton, got his Sextoning out of the way early, absolutely weeding himself in the opening moments of his heat race. Pulling off and returning to the paddock, where he sat and stared into the abyss of his last 4 rounds. After winning the LCQ, Chase's main event effort ranged from outstanding, as he worked his way up from mid-pack start to 3rd, to confusing, as he was then repassed by both AP and Justin Cooper in the final lap of the race to fall from 3rd to a 5th place finish. One might have thought that Kenny's best shot at winning Daytona would have been a hole shot and run away in the opening laps. But Roczen actually rounded the first turn in 4th and had to pick off Webb, Plessinger, and Jason Anderson to take the point. Anderson had led for the first 5 minutes before giving way to Plessinger. It was almost 7 minutes in before Kenny was able to get around Coop, but he then made short work of Anderson less than half a lap later. Kenny Cooper Webb to Cooper Webb to make the pass on the points leader, cutting underneath the master of the cut down. It took another 2 laps before Roczen rocketed around AP and into the lead, and still 2 more before Webb could get by the 7th. By then, Kenny was gone. Half a lap later, Sexton followed Webb past Plessinger, and it looked like the battle for the points lead, if not for the lead of the race, was on. Webb wasn't having it. In the closing laps, it also appeared that Webb would track Roczen down yet again, cutting 2 seconds a lap into Kenny's lead. But a cross rut in the closing moments was all it took for Roczen to get away. Holding off Webb for the win had to be as gratifying for Roczen as it was frustrating for Cooper to finish as runner-up for a 5th time at the Speedway. And now we move on to Indy. The first race held in Indianapolis was on March 21st, 1992, and the series had not missed the city since, except for the 2020 season, altered due to some strong flu. 2025 will be the 33rd Supercross held in Indy. In '92, a 19-year-old phenom was leading the point standings midway through the season. He held a convincing margin over the wily veteran he was battling for the championship, and the title was his to take. And it all went over the handlebars, literally. Most somehow remember that Yamaha's Damon Bradshaw booted the 1992 Supercross Championship in Los Angeles, the Coliseum. But it actually all went south in the Midwest at the first ever Supercross race to be held in the home of the biggest open-wheel race in the world.
Bob Thank you. 2 wins in a row is impressive. Remember, Bradshaw and the Yamaha won 5 in a row earlier in the year as the field come to the gates for the main event.
50,000 fans looking on, first time ever in a Hoosier Dome. If you're Mike LaRocco, has got to be extra special.
Preparing for the drop of the gate. Engines beginning to rev. Can Bradshaw beat the Hondas and regain his form? We'll know in a moment as number 4 prepares for the launch. The charge to turn number 1. The first man there is Damon Bradshaw, and a huge pileup. Doug Dufox, the one big name involved, his teammate Damon Bradshaw out front early, and most of this season that's been the death knell for the rest of these guys.
And I think they know it. They certainly are not about to let him get away. Jeff Stanton right now has one thing in mind: keep Bradshaw in sight. The first opportunity that we have had this season to see the top 3 riders in Supercross off the line together, Dave. So I think that's going to tell us something also. This should be an interesting night. Could kind of let us in for what is in store the rest of the season.
We're back in Indianapolis with a heated battle for the lead. Stanton closing up almost to the rear wheel of Damon Bradshaw. This has been the battle from the get-go. Bradshaw got the whole shot. Stanton takes the inside line down through the whoopsie-doo. He's got position as they double jump into the left-hander. Stanton makes the pass and takes the lead. First time this year.
I think at the last second there, Bradshaw thought that he was going to be able to cut back to the inside of Stanton, but there was no way to go. That was a good pass.
These two had a battle like this at Daytona, but again, we make the point that was a very different racetrack, very much a Jeff Stanton racetrack. This is a tight indoor stadium course, the kind on which Damon Bradshaw dominated early in the year. Scrambling all night in the Damon Bradshaw pit because of that bad crash in the heat race, and perhaps that may be one of the reasons Jeff Stanton was able to make a move that he has not been able to make all year long up until now. The pass on Bradshaw for the lead in an indoor race. On, but he's under intense pressure. Bradshaw's after him.
Now, Stanton was a lot lower in that line. I think Bradshaw would have had to have bumped him very hard in order to get him out of that line.
Now they have clear track. Stanton leading, Bradshaw chasing. It is the battle that many people anticipated coming into this 1992 season. Damon Bradshaw appeared to have made that discussion history as he dominated early on. Now Stanton and his teammate Bale have come to life. They are within 16 points of the series leader Damon Bradshaw. Come to the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis.
Well, this one is far from over. Damon Bradshaw drops back again, but he seemingly is able to pull up to Stanton at will. And again, Dave, I'll point out, I think that he's waiting until the last couple 3 laps before he makes a really hard charge and tries to take over that number 1 spot.
Stanton is, Bradshaw's in trouble. Bradshaw with an unbelievable end-over-end crash. Bradshaw is off the track. This is the motorcycle. Bradshaw is on the far side of the racetrack, and he came off undone.
There he is. He's standing up. That's Keith McCarty. No, that's one of the other Yamaha team members over there with him, or crew members. Bradshaw got up quickly and is shaking it off. It's hard. With that brief glimpse, we're going to have to go back and take another look at it, but Bradshaw looked like he lost control up in the air and just nosedived into the ground.
He is out of the race. Bradshaw is making no effort to get back into action. Bradshaw is going to lose the championship point lead in Indianapolis after an unbelievable smash-up. He went over the handlebars, tried dramatically to save it. Take another look.
Here he is. He'll crop up. There he is. Look, he's off the motorcycle. He tries to get off the bike, and it looked like maybe the bike come around and bounced off of Bradshaw while they were down in that little valley. Bradshaw actually got off the motorcycle before it landed, but the results were the same. He got wound up and twisted with the motorcycle, and he doesn't know whether to hold his leg or his ribs. And look there, looks like maybe his ankle. He's going to get back on the motorcycle.
He would probably, his first reaction would be to try to get back into the race and save some points if it's at all possible. I don't know if he's going to try to go back out or not. His team technician there checking out the bike. I think he's going to give it a shot.
He is, indeed. Otherwise, he'd be sitting there, I guarantee it.
consistency was the story of Damon Bradshaw. This year, Bradshaw started out hot, but the Hondas have come back. This will be their second consecutive sweep as number 2 Jeff Stanton has Vail in control and will turn for home and win the Hoosier Dome Supercross. Stanton's second win in 3 starts. Vail takes the runner-up spot, and the headline story on this one will be big crash for Bradshaw.
The sophomore stop for Supercross in Indy came in 1993. So, of course, it was suddenly the era of Jeremy McGrath, who would go on to become the most winningest rider at the venue. Jeremy won the 1993 Indianapolis race on his march to his rookie championship. When he repeated the following year, it was his 6th win in his 8th 94 start. Jeremy would win again in 95, 96, and 98, and earn his 6th Indianapolis victory in 2000.
The big question, as it has been all season, can anybody do anything with Jeremy McGrath, or can Jeremy take another step toward rewriting the record book? Here's your leader, Jeremy McGrath, Murrieta, California, home for the youngster who has taken the series by storm in 1993 and has the potential, as we said, to rewrite all the records. Well, maybe so, Larry, but here's the guy who's collected most of the nuggets in 93. 7 victories thus far. McGrath looking for number 8 here this evening, and he doesn't have to work very hard. If he keeps that motorcycle upright, he will cruise to an easy Showtime. Says so on his pants. That's the nickname he's picked up, and well-deserved, too, as he works his way through the final laps here in the Hoosier Dome, and nearly 50,000 fans get their opportunity to see the new force in Supercross 1993. McGrath claiming number 8 here this evening if a lapper doesn't take him out. There's Kedrowski a lap behind, and this will not make it official, Larry, but it's going to make it close to official. Kedrowski's one of the few guys left with a mathematical shot at Jeremy.
Yeah, he'll be the only guy left. Pontiac pretty much took care of that. Damon Bradshaw and Stanton suffering. Then McGrath takes the win.
And Dave, while a lot of them are flying through the air, Jeremy McGrath taking the checkers flag, not even celebrating. He's pooped. Jeff Emig coming across second. But while a lot of riders are flying through the air very high, McGrath is able to stay low and get back to the power to the dirt quickly.
That's it. Keep the power on the ground. Doesn't pay off to go way up in the air. Pays off to go forward. Here he is celebrating 6th time this year. That's just remarkable.
No knack-knacks this time around.
Maybe he hurt that foot.
Maybe that sore foot was the reason, too. Giving back to the fans. Jeremy really loves interacting with the fans. Jeremy's spoken.
Offside. We go back to our leader. It is the final lap. And Jeremy McGrath is saying, I am back.
Well, he needed it. That points lead had shrunk to 15, and I'll tell you, that's really not much when you're halfway into the season. The Kawasaki riders have, in the past couple of years, come on strong late in the season, so he's got to get his points gap back in order to hang on to that title.
5 straight wins, a 4th and a 7th, and looking back for another win right now is Jeremy McGrath. This has got to be one of the most exciting moments in Larry Hughes' career. He's won 125 races before, but on the big machines, on the 250s, this would be his first podium performance. Jeremy McGrath, the checker.
Here's Jeremy McGrath, our leader, looking for his 10th straight victory and career victory number 39. Flying lap for Jeremy McGrath.
Looks like it might be 10 in a row if McGrath can just keep it on 2 wheels this lap. Even if he loses a lot of time, he's got about a 4-second lead on Emig now. You'll see Emig come into the screen. There he is. Pretty close.
McGrath, Emig, lust number 34, and then Hughes is in 4th position. Well, it's been a fascinating race here in Indianapolis. One that had to put a little bit of fright into Jeremy McGrath.
Well, he had to pass all these guys. Emig was ahead of him.
The crowd is standing as Jeremy McGrath not taking any chances on that triple with a knack-knack.
No, it's too rutted for him to show. I can't even believe he jumped it. It's getting so hard. Look, he's got to roll through all these. Only about 50 yards to go now to the finish.
Jeremy McGrath can see the checkers in sight. He has won 10 in a row, equaling his previous record of 10 victories on a season in 1993 and 10 more in 95.
Young man, Jeremy McGrath, the points leader, getting ready now. Jeremy's second win in a row last week in San Diego was proof positive that he feels confident in his quest for a 5th Supercross title. And here's number 2, Jeremy McGrath, cruising with his smooth style. He's got the lead he wants on a track that is his kind of track, a very fast track, good technique track. Whenever Jeremy has taken over the points lead in the 250 Supercross, he has never lost it. The final lap for number 2 on the Chaparral Yamaha, Jeremy McGrath.
You might see a knack here, but I think it's a little bit too rutted. The other thing about Jeremy is once he's gotten that points lead and all those titles, he's won by a huge margin going down the stretch.
For the bad luck, and look at there. LaRocco is trying to pass and does. Jeff Emig. The checkers for Jeremy. Jeremy McGrath has won his 3rd Supercross of 1998 and will take a decisive points lead coming out of this round.
Jeremy McGrath as the flashbulbs pop here in Indianapolis.
He may be even a little bit surprised at this, Art. You know, I mean, just think about that. He hasn't ridden the bike since the main event last week. He picks up where he left off. He's dominating.
Jeremy McGrath will be only 1 win away from tying Bob Hanna as the all-time winningest Yamaha rider. This will be his 19th win on a Yamaha. He's already the all-time winner of Honda with 43. And the checkers for Jeremy. 4th win of the season, number 64 in his great career.
Larry Brooks. Davey talked about Larry earlier at the starting line going, I don't know. We'll see what happens. He's probably saying something about that right now going, good job, Jeremy.
As an aside, on the same night McGrath collected that 6th win, Travis Pastrana made his professional dirt bike racing debut in Indianapolis, finishing 4th in the 125 class. Pastrana would go on to earn one of his 14 career professional victories in Indy the following year. Moving up to the Premier class for 2002, at Indianapolis, Pastrana would finish 8th after first leading and then an infamous run-in with one Ricky Carmichael, when RC knocked Travis down and was booed out of the stadium. I was there. That's not what happened, but it is what happened. After several scintillating exchanges for the lead, Pastrana bobbled, trying to block Carmichael and going down. But the fans blamed RC anyway, and seldom has a Supercross crowd more quickly turned.
Underway. Good starts. McGrath, Carmichael, Villeman is David Villeman, the points leader, taking the lead. But look at number 199, Travis Pastrana on the Suzuki. They're rubbing plastic. They're going bar to bar. Travis looking back at him. Oh, this is going to be a great fight.
Allowed Villeman and Travis by on the inside.
Travis to the inside. On Villeman takes the lead. The crowd going crazy.
Travis has actually struggled with that all day long, but he managed to hold on to the lead right there. Villeman is all over that.
Carmichael moving into 2nd. Look at this boot section. Villeman is so good in the whoops. That's Rob Cotton, number 21. He almost collides with Villeman.
I don't see him ever giving up. He's one of those guys who's able to respond to whatever the pace is and go even faster.
Oh, Ricky Carmichael to the inside. Number 4, the defending champion, Ricky Carmichael, who won.
Whoa, Ricky getting all
Really out of shape. And Pastrana takes the lead again.
good save by Ricky. Right. Ricky. Travis has been crossing over that. The run is actually more difficult. Trying to stay in the group. And Travis blows the timing through the section, but he takes the line away from Ricky, so he couldn't capitalize on it.
David Villeman going at it with Ricky Carmichael for 2nd place.
Villeman doing the right thing by getting in there and making Ricky a little nervous, more defensive again. And second time, Travis out front, a little bit shorter right there, so you can't see the rhythm. And Ricky once again closes in on him.
Oh, Ricky to the inside. Travis opened the door just slightly, and Travis goes down.
See some nervous fidget from Carmichael, when he gets a little nervous in the race, he starts adjusting it. He's got a couple of spots out there, one before they go into the tunnel and one right after the loop.
White flag, final lap. Milliman to the inside. Oh, Milliman takes the lead. Oh, he could have put him up in the hay.
Look at the lead. He already opened up. Goes to the inside. A lucky penny or something this morning.
Yeah, I found one last night in an elevator, and it was heads up. He kept it. The checkers for David Milliman. His 7th career victory. He becomes the first Greek.
Milliman needed this win. He needed those points.
I was behind Travis there, and he tried to, he jumped past that rut, and I seen a chance to pass him, and I was already committed, and he tried to get back in the rut, and, I was already in there, and he tried to make something happen that just really wasn't happening. He was completely outside of that rut, and I was in the rut, and he just grabbed a handful and jumped right in my way, and I hit him, and he crashed. I mean, I almost crashed too, but, the fans are hardcore, and oh well, that's the way it goes.
I messed up. He took advantage of it. And I got it done the same thing, so I can't complain. Just get a little tense on that section. Started couldn't get over it clean. I was devastated. So other than that, I felt like I was riding great. But another day. It's always another day.
Speaking of Carmichael, and we'd have to in this time period, RC had won the previous year in 2001 on the Kawasaki, his first championship indoor season. He would win again on a Honda in 2003, and then 2 more on a Suzuki in 05 and 06.
Could the RCA Dome stand for Ricky Carmichael again? Oh, Ricky put on a display himself. Little knack-knack going on. The checkers for Ricky Carmichael.
We talked about it around lap 15. This is when Ricky tends to get stronger. If he's going to make a mistake, it's usually in the first 5 laps.
It frustrates the other guys, and it frustrated me the year Johnson beat me for the Supercross title back in 1986. White flag, 1 lap to go. Looks like he's got it, but the guys all watch tapes of Ricky, and they see how many times he saved it, almost went off the track, and almost went down in the loops, and almost this, and almost that. And they're like, man, when is this guy going to mess up, and fall off? But he refuses to go down.
I'll tell you what, I have been so impressed with this young man. I knew he was good. I knew he had this stuff, but you put him in any circumstance, after the first 2 events when he had been on the top of the podium, people were starting to question him. And here's your answer. Who is the man? Number 4, Ricky Carmichael. He's the winner in Indianapolis as the fireworks and the flash bulbs go off. The Redcoats are celebrating.
Well, there's the path for the lead right there. Nick Way is up to 3rd. The Privateer having a great run on the 27, the white machine.
Right now, it's Ricky Carmichael in Indy.
Win number 45 for Ricky Carmichael. His 12th on the Suzuki, and the 4-time champion continues to make a statement here in 2006 by shaking up the points 1 more time.
Post-COVID, Indianapolis played host 3 rounds of the 2021 season, and all 3 were swept by Team Honda's Kenny Roczen.
And what a start for the 1. Eli Tomac to the outside, gets his Kawasaki nose out front, and it's green 1 and 2. Just what the doctor ordered for Eli Tomac. He needed this in the worst kind of way to get his confidence back on track. Races. Oh, and Tomac is down.
Going through the whoops right here. Everything's good. Copacetic. Oh, what happens is he tries to lean the bike over to make that corner.
So the 2 heat winners are out in front. Heat 1 winner, Adam Cianciarulo on board the 9. He is out in front. Here comes Ken Roczen on the inside.
He wants to get by Adam Cianciarulo because he knows he can see that the number 1 here, Eli Tomac, right behind him. He wants to get by Adam Cianciarulo so he can check out on the field.
Here comes Tomac on the outside. Can he get Roczen? Roczen squares him up and holds on to 2nd.
I really thought the Eli Tomac was going to go up high and try to cut back underneath the 94 of Ken Roczen.
So Ken Roczen now starting to eye up Adam Cianciarulo, and he gets it done. Roczen gets past AC. Here comes Tomac trying to make it a 2-for-1. Tomac had the lead, gave it away, got it back, lost it again. Ken Roczen has been maybe the most consistent rider on the Monster Energy AMA Supercross circuit in 2021. Does he have the drive? Closes the gap as they make the left. Eli comes up short. Roczen may have just enough daylight as he makes the left-hand turn. It's Kenny Roczen getting the win in Indy. 20 minutes plus 1 lap. Someone is going to try to take control of this series tonight. 450 main is off. Barcia has the speed, but is it enough? Roczen takes it away.
51 is going to go for him right here. He isn't able to do that. These guys better go. Ken Roczen is on a mission.
White flag, 1 more lap for Ken Roczen, trying to make it 2 in a row here in Indianapolis. 1 more turn, and it will be Ken Roczen going back-to-back in Indianapolis. All right, here we go, our final stop. Our residency comes to an end tonight. Who's taking the 450 main? Roczen with a great drive on the inside. Does he have the power to get around? Barcia's up there with him.
Barcia tried to take Ken high and just overshot the corner, and then Roczen slid right back underneath him. This is going to be a good one right here. All the players up front.
So Ken Roczen, your points leader, out in front on board that Team Honda HRC. Can Roczen do what he did on Tuesday night and just check out Ricky? He's looked so smooth, but he's got Barcia on his back wheel, and Barcia looks equally as comfortable on this track.
Oh, look at Barcia. Oh, I can't believe he did that.
Holy cow.
The last lap right here.
Here we go. White flag is out. Ken Roczen's got 1 lap to hold off Cooper Webb, trying to stay away from all lap riders. Roczen looking for the 3-peat here in Indy. Kenny Roczen with 1 more turn, and it's Roczen pulling the 3-peat in Indy.
Look how pumped he is. He knows that was huge win for Ken Roczen. Be able to sweep Indy, pulling off the hat trick.
Kenny then took an immensely popular win at Indianapolis 2 years ago. The feel-good win of 2023.
Roczen with a flyer of a start. It's Roczen and Sexton. They blast out of the gates, and Adam Cianciarulo's on the inside. Roczen and then AC. Here comes Cooper Webb. We look at this. Look at Sexton and Webb going at it for that 2nd spot. And you know what? Adam Cianciarulo's not out of this either. He's hanging around there in 4th. There he is in the background, ahead of his teammate Jason Anderson. But this fight for 2nd, it has been on, and it's not going anywhere.
Oh, this is unbelievable racing right. Oh, what a move by Sexton. He closes the door hard on Cooper Webb.
Somebody's crashed. It's Chase Sexton. The Honda HRC pilot is down, and down hard.
Oh, boy. There you go. Let's get a good run through the whoops. Comes out. Oh, foot pegs. Drag. I'm just waiting. I think Kenny has a big enough gap here, Lee.
There it is.
I think it's big enough here.
1 to go. Who's got it? Who has got it? The crowd are cheering for Roczen and Barcia. What a show they put on here in Indy.
This place is going absolutely nuts.
Here comes Barcia again.
He's got it. Barcia's got to go for it right here.
Final lap. Just 2 corners to go.
Barcia's got to go for it. He's got to go for it.
He's not close enough. Roczen is back in the winner's circle. Welcome back, Ken Roczen. Aboard the Suzuki. And what a show these 2 guys have put on.
Look at that. What a ride by Ken. So cool to see. Look at the emotion. Look at all his competitors. Look how happy
they are foreign.
And so we have 6 winners so far this season, even if 2 of them are out with injury. Roczen's victory was the 23rd win of his career, 11th all-time. Footnote, also a 75th career podium, tying him with James Stewart. Kenny only makes up 3 points on Coop, but returning to the scene of his memorable 23 win has to provide some additional push to claw his way back into the championship battle. Conversely, Indy is traditionally soft and ruddy, which always plays to Webb's strengths. Sexton's continued miscues leave him now 10 adrift of Webb and only 6 ahead of Roczen. Though most pundits and fans point to Chase as having the most speed of the trio, it's Kenny who has led the most laps, 55. Webb has led 42, Sexton 39. Had Kenny not gotten tangled up while trying to split lappers in Tampa and just held on to 3rd place, he'd be holding the red plate going into Indy. And hey, if you like this video, please like this video. Maybe we'll tap the subscribe button. Leave a comment if you know how to type. Meanwhile, thanks for watching this.
The crowds, the fans, the love of your team. In your own words, how special is it?
I honestly still can't believe it, but I just kept my head down and charged the whole way, and I cannot believe that this finally happened.
It has been some time. You've got 23 wins under your belt now. You've been here to Daytona 10 other times before this has happened. And now as you kind of sit here and look at that trophy right over there, you're going home with it.
I mean, now, Justin Brayton, he's been giving me crap for a long time because he has one of these, and I don't. Well, I came back and I finally have one too, so.